Ah, the good old-fashioned landscape. The Bob Ross approach. Let's make some happy trees, some happy mountains. I didn't really make any happy clouds today, but happy reflections in the water. Sometimes it's just fun to not challenge yourself. Sometimes it's fun to just do the paintings that come as naturally as your signature or as naturally as anything else that's natural for you. I like to challenge myself. I think we learn when we challenge ourselves, but that's not what today's art is about. So, all right, before I do this, I want to show you the end result of yesterday's, because I wasn't happy with yesterday's. Now, yesterday I didn't do a card. I did a painting of this witch. I didn't really like that painting, but I really wasn't painting it as a painting. I was painting it to promote a Halloween event, a trick-or-treat event at our church. They call it trunk or treat. You've seen trunk or treat events, I'm sure, in your community. So what I did was I took a photograph of that artwork I just showed you, and then I put it onto my Procreate, and I changed it into this. So it's slightly different. You see now there are eyes and mouth on the pumpkin, on the jack-o'-lantern. So I made it into that. And the next step was to make it into like a graphic for an ad that you would have just on social media to try to advertise the event. So I want to show you what I did with that artwork. And that's what I did. I took the artwork, and with Procreate you can add lettering, text, and so that's what I did. I put the trunk or treat in big, and I graduated the colors from white to orange or yellowish orange, and put the other important information like the address and the date and the time. So that's how this was used for this. So the painting itself, whoops, something dropped. The painting itself is not that great. Not really. I really wasn't happy with the painting. But I knew I wanted it as a graphic to help out the church. You know what they do? They have people in the church, they come around with their cars and they decorate the trunks. And then the children from the neighborhood come and they trick or treat for candy. And it's fun. And I participate just because it's fun, plus I get to eat candy. So I just wanted to show you the epilogue of yesterday's painting. But today, we're just gonna stay away from that and make something relatively easy, relatively quick landscape. And we're thanking Bob Ross for the amazing contribution he made to inspire all of us to pick up a brush and paint. And it's about so many different things. It's about creating something beautiful to give as a gift. In my case, I like to make cards, so I give them to people. And in this specific case, this is going to be for a fundraiser for the same church. At the end of November, they're having an art auction. And all of the cards that I have not given away to individuals, I'm going to donate to the church, and they will make money from that, and that money goes to the people in our community who are having hard times, who can't who they have electricity turned off, they're behind on their rent, they need clothing for the kids, they need, oh my gosh, I've heard so many stories about what they do. One person needed like a gasoline card because he had a car, didn't have any gasoline money, he had to get to work. And so once he got a job, you see, he could, I know, there's so much thinking involved. My job was easy. Create some art, have people raise money with it, and I let them figure out the rest of it. Okay, so this was done with Kiritaki paints, these paints, and also with the P.H. Martin bleed proof white. And you probably can guess that I used the bleed proof white on the snow on the mountains. All of that is all you really need to know. You can turn off the video now and go have fun. But if you want to hang out, I'd love to have you. So hang out. Well, I'll show you how I painted that right now. All right, let's just have fun. Let's just make a painting. Kind of do the Bob Ross approach. Let's just enjoy the world and have some fun. Make a landscape that's not necessarily a particular place, so I don't have to worry about capturing everything, you know. So we'll start with a blue sky, and we'll work our way toward the foreground. Yeah, that's kind of the fun of painting, isn't it? It's just creating a nice scene. Let's see, is that the blue I want? Yeah, that's a good blue. Yeah, we'll start with that one. So just could bring it all the way up there. Just get it nice and, it's almost like a blue-green, isn't it? What is this one? Is this a different blue? It's different. And let the water do its thing. Bob Ross used oil paints. I don't know if he ever used anything except for oil paints, but that was what he mostly used, or if maybe it's only what he used. So let's just do that. Let's just have some fun and make some mountains and some trees and all the things that Bob Ross was famous for. So just kind of make these little white areas that'll become mountains. I haven't ever been to the Rocky Mountains. I've been to the Smoky Mountains, but not to the Rockies. Although, let's see, I went to the Grand Canyon. I guess that's considered part of the Rockies, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. Maybe it's the very, very end of the Rockies. But no, I've never been to Denver, and I've never been to some of those places that you always hear about. Many of you have. Many of you live there. So it looks like a beautiful, beautiful place. All the mountains are beautiful, really. The world is beautiful. What a wonderful world. You know what we were doing yesterday? Yesterday, Robin's mother and brother came over for lunch. And so I went to YouTube and I found karaoke. And I said, let's do blind karaoke. I made up something. I said, let's not look at the words. The person singing can't look at the words. Everybody else can look at the words. And you can see, and you can prompt the person singing if they're not getting the words right. And boy, that was kind of fun. Just being silly, and oh man, I tried a couple of songs that I thought I knew, and well, it just was fun, you know. Sometimes that's just what you need, is something fun. Sometimes children bring fun to something. Now, there were no children in our home yesterday. I kind of wish there were, but there was no children. We didn't have any children here yesterday. Just us old people behaving like children. And but sometimes children will bring this beautiful lift to the world around you. If everybody's talking, let's say, politics, or maybe they're remembering somebody with sadness, and it starts to get a little bit on the sad side, you know, and a child runs in and shows you something that they're doing or whatever. It's just fun. All right, boy, that was easy. That's the whole thing. I gotta let it dry. Now I gotta add the rest. I'll turn the camera off and I'll be right back. All right, it's dry. All right, let's paint everything else now. That didn't take any time at all. So that was the sky and the water. Now we're going to paint the other things. The other things in here. Let's see, where do I begin? How about this color here? Not sure what that is. So we want to do some mountains in the distance. Keep them light. Keep them light. Don't make them dark. Keep them light. Like a light blue. And keep a lot of white showing so that we can have that effect of snow. But try to do it without using white paint, but we'll never say never. There we go. A little bit of darkness right there. Just a little hint of a mountain right there with some snow on it. And keep it light. So yeah, we were doing karaoke yesterday, and it was just silly fun. Just a bunch of silly fun is what I was really enjoying it. And then we watched a video on the Cass Railroad in West Virginia. Robin's brother is a railroad guy. He loves railroads. And so he was telling us about the Cass Railroad. Have you ever seen this place or heard about this place? So he found a video on YouTube to show us. And so that was interesting. And he's been there, and we have not. But it definitely made us want to go there. So maybe one day. Maybe one day. How many times do I say maybe one day? Just I say maybe one day a lot. One of the comments on the YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, one of the comments was asking me to recommend paints and brushes. I'm going to tell you this. This paintbrush I'm using right now is made by Princeton, and it was sent to me by one of our viewers, and I love them. But I will tell you this, I am not an expert on brushes. No, I'm really not. And the brushes that I use besides these Princeton brushes are, like, I am not exaggerating, probably 40 years old. I am not exaggerating. I've had them forever. And so I am not an expert. However, if you're on YouTube anyway, you might want to look up some people who have some expertise in brushes. That's what I would say, is find another YouTuber who has maybe made a video that really does delve into which brushes, because I honestly don't know. In fact, I'm still learning. Hopefully you understand that I don't present myself here on this YouTube channel as an expert. I'm just Poppa, and I just paint, and that's it. I just do whatever I can to have fun with this. If I learn something, then it's from you guys, usually. You ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. I'm often questioning everything I do. And that's not a bad thing, I don't think. I hope not. Now right there I did a bad thing, because look, it was still wet. I didn't realize it was still wet. I'll have to come back and make that mountain a mountain. Well, maybe not. Maybe leave it like it is. So, all right, now let's take some darker greens and blacks and make some like a foreground hill. Mixing some black there. One of the things I think I've learned in doing these watercolor paints is that sometimes I notice that sometimes people use the paint directly out of the pans, like with these pan colors, which, by the way, this is another gift, and this is from Deb, and these are called Kuretake paints, and I love them. They're rich, they're vibrant, they're very pigmented, I guess is the way to say it, and they really are wonderful. I love them. But I notice a lot of times people don't mix their pan watercolors. They just use them straight out of the pan, and I do that too. But don't be afraid to mix them. Just have fun. If you have a little palette, I use the back of the card when I'm doing the cards. I use the back of the card as a mixing place if I need to. Like right now, I can pretty much use the paper itself that I'm working on. Just trying to create a little bit of a tree line here on the other side of this lake or river or whatever this is. Just trying to create a little something there. And you see how that black melts nicely, or melds. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Blends nicely with the green. Just put some trees there. Okay, let's get some of this. Let's get some of this yellow and bring it down here. And we'll put some more yellow down here. Just keep working it, and we'll get it. We'll get it to look like a nice little landscape. Taking the Bob Ross approach. It's fun. I was in Hobby Lobby a couple days ago, and I was looking at the very large canvases, and I was wondering, dare I attempt a very large canvas? I'm happy using these small things, you know. There's some of that blue in there. Get it watered down a little bit. Then we'll have to put those shadows in there and those reflections. Get some reflections in there. Now with digital, you know what you can do for reflections. You can just copy what you have and then flip it over and fade it out, and it'll look nice. That's a kind of a little trick. I should show you that one day. How many, with a show of hands, I don't know how to ask this question, but I wonder how many of you would be interested in me showing you the way I do digital. So I've been working on this children's book, and I worked on it a lot this weekend. I have a deadline now. One thing I hate is deadlines, but that's what I have, is deadlines. So yeah, so I use digital when I work on the children's books because it's so much easier to change things. For example, I'll tell you one. There's a picture in the story where there's a boy and he doesn't want to eat the sweets that were put before him, and so he's saying no, 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 So I painted the boy with some cake and some ice cream in front of him, because it wasn't really clear what the author had in mind. And this is the way it works, by the way. It is not unusual, what I'm about to tell you. But the author loved it, but he said, you didn't put enough sweets in front of him. We have to have a lot of sweets in front of the boy. So that's my assignment for today, is to rework that picture. And this is why I like doing it with digital, because I don't have to really do the whole picture over. I just have to rework the parts that he's asking for. If it was traditional paint, like watercolor or acrylic, I would have to do the whole thing over again. Or I could paint over it. It's not such a good idea. But sometimes that works. Very rarely does that work. But anyway, I haven't actually painted over anything in years, because once digital became a thing, like with Photoshop and now with Procreate, once I started using those tools, then the work that I do as a commercial artist, helping out authors and journalists and things like that, it was much easier to do it digitally. Not only that, but in the end, when you're done with a painting and you want to send it to the person, because they're not going to use the painting, they're going to use a photograph of the painting. Yeah, that's important to know too. And I'm not the best photographer. I mean, it worked. I mean, up until Robin has a camera, and she was always the one photographing the art, and then we would send them to the publishers, and that's how we did those. But the truth is, nowadays, if you do it digitally, you don't have to take a photograph of it, because it's already digital. You just form a JPEG and boom, and you got it. And they love it. And you can even format it so that it's high resolution, which is the only thing they want. It's the only thing they want, is high resolution. They don't want any low resolution. No. So you got to keep that in mind too. I should show you. That's my question for you, the viewer. If I have a few people who would like to see my process, the way I do the children's books, if that's interesting to you, let me know. I'll make a few videos like that. But for now, see, that's why this is fun for me, because this is the Bob Ross. This is the Bob Ross approach. Just create this really fun environment here with mountains and reflections and grass and just different things. There we go. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good, I think. All right. All right, let me get some green in here. Some nice little bit of green over here. And build up this little area here. And then over here too. Get some yellow and green over here. Okay. Alright, let's get some more green. More green, more cowbell. Different shades of green always helps make the landscape look realistic, I think. All right, let's get some taller trees here. Get these big trees here, these foreground trees, growing up out of this little piece of land right here. Get the reflection of the tree in the water. Here we go. Yeah, let's put some more. This big old mountain back here that I didn't get done before. The mountain back here, I just want to be towering over the other mountains. And maybe I'll use some of that white to accentuate the snow. Here we go. We'll use some white on there to make it a little bit more defined. And some of these trees here. Here we go. Let's use some of that white. Some of the white. Again, I go to this one, Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, because we need snow on the mountains. So I'm going to take this, open it up. I'm going to take a little bit out of it and put it onto the lid of the water jar. That's all I need. I don't need any more than that. And then I will put some snow on these mountains. Let's hope it works. Let's hope I do it right. I'll take this little brush and begin to make snow. There we go. A little bit of snow on this mountain. Some of these back mountains too. These mountains in the distance. This big old mountain has a lot of snow just coming down the side of it. Little bits of snow. We can even put some reflections of the snow in the water. This snow up here, I like this big area of snow just coming down. This could be Alaska, this could be Wyoming, this could be Colorado. I don't really know. I don't really know. That's the snowier mountain. It's the tallest one. It gets the most snow. So we'll take that white right there and represent it in the reflection down here. There we go. A little bit. There, I think it's done. Oops, I think I have the painting done. It's not completely dry, but it's dry on the fold. So let me fold it now to make it a card. And then we have our Bob Ross-ish landscape. Kind of like it. I think I want to go wherever that is. I'm going to go there right now. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.